being seen as the biggest election the world has ever seen. And in the holy city of Varanasi, the spices added to the political drama will make this high-octane clash even more interesting. The prime ministerial candidate for the main opposition party, the BJP, is all set to be the front runner for the prime ministerial post. And by coming here to Varanasi, not only is he expanding his political prospects, he is going to be targeting at least 20 to 25 seats all the way from Lucknow to Bihar. Now, beyond that, of course, it remains to be seen whether the other political opponents are going to make Varanasi their battleground and make it even more complex. In this
agenda, and that's going to be very, very serious in coming years for India.
This election is all about symbolism. Even if the BJP attempts to steal a march over its rivals, Aam Aadmi Party adds a dash of its predictable theatrics, with its chief architect Arvind Kejriwal announcing final dash towards Varanasi. There is no shortage of build-up to AAP drama in the temple town.
पार्टी ने मुझे कहा कि आपको नरेंद्र मोदी जी के खिलाफ चुनाव लड़ना चाहिए। मुझे ये चुनौती स्वीकार है। 23 तारीख को वाराणसी में रैली करेंगे। इस देश के लोगों से आह्वान करना चाहता हूं कि इस देश के सारे लोग 23 तारीख को वाराणसी पहुंचे। अगर वाराणसी के लोग, मुझे पार्टी ने टिकट दिया है लेकिन पार्टी का टिकट देना मेरे लिए कोई महत्व नहीं रखता। जिस दिन देश की जनता मुझे टिकट देगी, मैं नरेंद्र मोदी जी के खिलाफ चुनाव लड़ूंगा।
हम देश में क्रांति चाहते हैं और क्रांति के लिए हम कहीं से भी अपनी आगाज कर सकते हैं, चाहे वो पूरे देश में आगाज करना है, चाहे वो गाजियाबाद हो चाहे दिल्ली हो, पूरे देश का मिशन है।
वाराणसी में और गाजियाबाद में लग रहा है पार्टी आएगी। वाराणसी में
हाँ जी, जरूर आएगी, जरूर आएगी, जरूर आएगी।
पर मोदी और बीजेपी के तो बहुत हवा है।
उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है।
क्यों?
आम आदमी पार्टी जीतेगी।
क्यों आपको लगता है? क्या
लगता है अच्छा काम किया, क्या नहीं किया।
The national and regional parties alike understand the significance of the big showdown in Varanasi. We try to find out why the vote in this city is symbolism and more.
You know, Varanasi is sort of heading into Bihar, and you know, Bihar is a very crucial battlefield for the BJP. And of course, Varanasi is almost like the capital of Eastern UP, the Purvanchal area, where there are about 32 seats, Lok Sabha seats. And I think so the BJP is hoping that by putting their prime ministerial candidate there, they will be able to generate some kind of a wave, both in Purvanchal and in Bihar, which will get them the requisite 60 odd seats they need from these two states to be able to form the next government.
BJP's Varanasi game plan to gain dividends, the Saffron Party needs to make some significant gains in India's biggest electoral state, starting from capital Lucknow. Party President Rajnath Singh faces a stern battle as former UPCC President Rita Bahuguna Joshi attempts to give him a tough fight in Lucknow.
अटल स्नेह का लाभ भी राजनाथ सिंह जी को विशेष रूप में मिल रहा है। लोगों को पता है कि अटल जी उनको दत्तक पुत्र की तरीके से मानते थे और मोदी जी का फैक्टर तो निश्चित रूप में मोदी और राजनाथ जी की जोड़ी इस समय पूरे देश में एक पक्षी वातावरण बना रही है। तो राजनाथ जी और मोदी जी को अलग करके कोई कल्पना ही नहीं कर सकता, लेकिन अटल शक्ति जो है ना, वो भाजपा कार्यकर्ताओं की प्रमुख रूप से वो हमको आगे बढ़ने की प्रेरणा देती है, और मोदी जी का जो प्रभाव है वो ऊर्जा पैदा करता है।
Even as the buzz in the streets in Lucknow suggests anticipation, Congress quick to shoot down any suggestions of a Modi wave. In fact, Congress even going on to suggest that Rajnath is piggy riding on Modi to gain prominence.
In my opinion, Rajnath Singh ji is using Mr. Modi to cut to size his political opponents within the BJP, and when the time will come, it's not possible in my scheme of things or in my thinking. But when the time will come, Mr. Modi will be pushed aside, and Mr. Rajnath Singh from the Lucknow seat will try to become the Prime Minister.
I'm a second timer. I've contested now, this is my third election, and Rajnath Singh ji contested only once in 93 and lost, and this is his second election from Lucknow district. You see, Mr. Rajnath Singh does not have a very strong connectivity with the city. The only question which I will be asking is that can Mr. Rajnath Singh give at least one or two such activities or contributions in Lucknow which can be earmarked in his name? He has never had any affection for this city. It's not at all a tough fight. It's going to be it will be a keen contest. But don't think that the winds are blowing anyway. And it's a very open election. And Lucknow has always been very friendly with secular forces. They have been very friendly to Congress.
For Rajnath, the move to Lucknow was not taken kindly by some of its party workers in Ghaziabad. Rajnath, who's a sitting MP of Ghaziabad, has vacated his seat for party's latest star entrant, General V.K. Singh.
An Indian is free to go in this country anywhere. It is only a foreigner who is an outsider. I am not a foreigner. Yeah. Right? Second thing, as a soldier, each part of country is your own. Where is the doubt? So all these people who talk of para-dropping are only talking theory. They don't understand what actual Indianness is on. I am talking to them on how we can improve the country, and I am talking to them of what the country wants today. A change for the better.
The BJP headquarters in Delhi has become the epicenter of various protests. Ever since morning, a number of groups have come here and expressed their objections to the number of tickets which have been allocated. The latest person to face protest now is former Minister General V.K. Singh, who has been named as the candidate of the BJP from Ghaziabad. And now there is a group called the Tyagi Samaj objecting to his candidature.
But the triangular fight in Ghaziabad gains prominence as Congress fields Raj Babbar, while an aggressive Aam Aadmi Party fields its TV personality Shazia Ilmi.
देखिए, जहाँ तक उनकी लहर का सवाल है, जो बीजेपी तो कहती है कि सुनामी है, तो सुनामी तो सिर्फ जो है विनाश ही कर सकती है, और विनाश वाली लहर का सामना जो है सभ्य जनता करेगी, और हम सब मिलकर करेंगे। उनको स्वयं नहीं पता कि वो कहाँ से लड़े, क्योंकि कोई भी उनको छोड़ने के लिए तैयार नहीं है और उनके अपनी सीट देने को तैयार नहीं है, तो लहर किस बात की है।
People in Ghaziabad will have one candidate who will be talking about them, who has done an intensive study and research on Ghaziabad. And Ghaziabad is an extension of Delhi. It is pretty much a Janbhumi of Aam Aadmi Party. In that sense, it's very inqalabi, and we'll make it a Karmbhumi. So I think General V.K. Singh will face a huge anti-incumbency. And I feel sorry for him, because all the woes that people feel, he will have to bear the cross of Rajnath Singh ji here.
The all-star face-offs are not restricted to Uttar Pradesh alone. The capital has its share of blockbuster battles as well. First of them being in Chandni Chowk, where sitting MP and Union Minister Kapil Sibal has the daunting task of facing Harshvardhan from the BJP and Ashutosh from the Aam Aadmi Party, both of whom are trying their best to make maximum gains out of this anti-Congress wave.
It's the oldest part of the national capital with a fresh triangular battle. Kapil Sibal faces an uphill task as Congress fights double anti-incumbency.
I don't go by these kind of, concerns. Point is, we have to fight an election. We have to win the confidence of the people. And whoever wins confidence of the people will win the election. So I don't consider anybody a threat, and I consider everybody a threat.
There is a sense.
I have to move and inform people what I have done. They know me, they have interacted with me, they have embraced me for the last 10 years. They've given me historic margins of victory. So I don't think there should be any problem, but we need to work very hard.
If you ask me honestly, I am thoroughly confident of defeating these so-called stalwarts from Chandni Chowk, and not only from Chandni Chowk. I am confident of defeating the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party candidates from all the 7 seats in the capital.
The Congress, however, appears to be bullish in its approach, even as ticket wars are breaking out within the party and the Chandigarh constituency exemplifying the immediate bad publicity and backlash, the Congress choosing to go ahead with its railgate-tainted leader PK Bansal. Its rivals, however, were quick to assess the national impact, immediately fielding celebrities from the same constituency.
But it wasn't exactly smooth sailing for the BJP, which faced protests from local workers over the candidature of Kiran Kher, even as AAP feels the glamorous Gulpanag in the Twin City.
I have immense respect for Mr. Bansal. He has been a classmate of my father's, and one has to respect his political acumen, his experience, and of course his age. However, I'm here to offer a change. I'm here as a voice of the youth, which I'm sure that it will be difficult for him to be able to be part of. I definitely will have more energy than him. I can run faster than him. I can campaign faster than him, and I hope that this will be a movement of change, and I hope that we all will be able to contribute to the India that we want to see.
मैं चंडीगढ़ की बेटी हूँ, हिमाचल की बहू हूँ। मेरे को 10% उम्मीद है कि सारे मेरे भाई बहने मेरे साथ खड़े तो नहीं जीतूंगी, जम के चोट पे जीत के जाएंगे। ये यहाँ मैं बाहर से आई हूँ, मेरा ऑफिशियल एड्रेस है 65 सेक्टर 8 है। मैं बाहर से नहीं आई हूँ, यहीं पे पढ़ी हूँ। ये सिटी और स्टेट को रिप्रेजेंट किया है बैडमिंटन में, कॉलेज यूनिवर्सिटी सब किया है। ये मेरा घर है। पंचायत से पूछिए कि अभी तक बनी नहीं, वो बाहर थे, वो तो यहीं के थे, वो काम क्यों नहीं करवाए? बाहर वाले लोग आकर करवाएंगे, करवा करो।
Will AAP eat into BJP's share helping the Congress party and Bansal? We ask independent political observers.
The individual candidate does matter. Kiran Kher is a known face and, glamorous figure, but she does have the outsider tag in Chandigarh.
That's true.
And I think increasingly voters are looking at their candidates very carefully. They want accountability from their candidates. They want an MP who will represent their interests in Parliament, who will be there for them in their hour of trouble, their need,
Yet another constituency that is looking for a first-timer is senior BJP leader and leader of opposition Rajya Sabha, Arun Jaitley, who is now looking to make his Lok Sabha debut with the 3-time MP Navjot Singh Sidhu vacating the Amritsar seat for the party stalwart. The Amritsar seat is expected to be a big battle because the Congress is now contemplating on pitching Captain Amrinder Singh, the former Punjab Chief Minister, against Arun Jaitley.
With a grand welcome and a big show of strength, Arun Jaitley wooing the voters of Amritsar as he aims to strengthen his political career with a big win. The Congress, however, is all set to field its former CM against Jaitley in an attempt to derail his Lok Sabha debut.
Finally, it is the Congress President's decision, whatever she wishes. I have been in state politics now for 30 years and I want to stay in state politics. But then it depends on the CP. Let's see what happens. The option, as I told you, it's up to the Congress President.
You're up to the challenge.
Of course I'm up to the challenge. I've never shirked a fight and I'm not intending to.
If Captain Saab is ready, I think so he would be the ideal choice to take on somebody like Arun Jaitley. The combination of Akali Dal and BJP is a very dangerous combination in a border state like Punjab. So if Captain Amrinder Singh takes on this challenge and takes on Arun Jaitley, I'm 100% sure that there would be a contest, there would be a mega contest, and by the end of the day, it would be the victory of secular forces.
Big battles in store in South India as a much anticipated clash comes about in Bangalore South with corporate bigwig Nandan Nilekani taking on 5-time MP of the BJP Anant Kumar. The Congress does hope to make some gains in Karnataka and will be looking at Nilekani to break into the BJP stronghold.
The buzz around Nilekani's candidature began as long as 6 months back when he was expected to bag a Congress ticket, as he headed UPA2's Unique Identification Project. The project, which was a partial success, propelled him to the big league. But can he translate the same success into politics?
People are looking for a new, clean face. I'll provide that.
And how do you think that comes about, sir? Because the Bangalore Connect is something that would
No,
be...
I'm from Bangalore. When Mr. Shivkumar was the Urban Development Minister and Mr. Krishna was Chief Minister, I headed the BATF. We worked closely together on Bangalore's problems, Swachh Bangalore, Nirmala Bangalore, all those programs. So I know the nitty-gritty of urban governance. I've run a large company, created a company, and I also created the world's largest identity program. So I think I bring that capability to the... I think Bangalore needs a real ambassador who will fight for its cause. I'll provide that.
Bharatiya Janata Party is going to win Bangalore South hands-on. 7th time also. Because right from 1991, Bharatiya Janata Party is winning Bangalore South. This is not the 6th time. This is 6th time for me, but 7th time for the party. The basic reason is that the issue is not of personalities. Issue is not of the contestants. It is not the question of candidates. It is because of the national scenario. It is actually Narendra Modi versus Rahul Gandhi. UPA's bad governance versus good governance of NDA. Therefore, people are going to once again opt for good governance, opt for Narendra Modi, opt for Bharatiya Janata Party. This is not state election. This is a national election. This is pan-India election. Therefore, the people know on pan-India, the fresh slate and fresh track record belongs to Narendra Modi. They want to give a tried, tested and trusted leader in his state who has created an international record of good governance, that is Narendra Modi.
The Aam Aadmi Party, which is also looking to break the southern barrier in Bangalore, is likely to field Captain Gopinath in the same Bangalore South seat. Analysts, however, skeptical of AAP's performance in the south of India.
Well, you know, again, in South India, I mean, Andhra Pradesh is completely subsumed by the Telangana Seemandhra fight. Tamil Nadu, it's the two Dravidian parties. So those two states are out. Now you're left with Kerala and Karnataka. I think in Karnataka also, I'm just back from Bangalore, actually. And I find that there it's really a three-way fight. Congress versus BJP versus JDS. I did not find too many people talking about the Aam Aadmi Party. And in Kerala, it's always been left versus a Congress. As I said, I think Aam Aadmi Party could be a party of the future, but in these elections, it's going to perhaps make a little difference, but not the kind of significant difference that it had seemed, just after they formed the government in Delhi.
For Congress that is facing tough battles all across, it's not going to be easy in Mumbai either. In what is being touted as one of the most interesting battles in Mumbai North Central, the Congress sitting MP Priya Dutt faces a tough competition from Poonam Mahajan, the daughter of slain BJP leader Pramod Mahajan.
Priya Dutt, who is perceived to be popular in her constituency, won't have it easy this time around. With controversies surrounding her brother and charges of corruption against Congress, BJP may hold a slight edge.
We will be fighting on issues which are connected to people here. How actually an MP can fight for the voice of people in Mumbai and Delhi and work locally, which is not to be seen for past few years.
This North Central constituency of Priya Dutt has a substantial minority vote also. How do you suppose as a BJP candidate, and it's seen as a traditional Congress bastion, how as a BJP candidate this time around do you propose to counter that?
I feel sad that you've been calling this as a more of a major tanga for minority vote. When you talk about development, you talk about people. I mean, you cannot segregate them into minority in Hindu and Muslims.
I'm talking about the substantial vote share.
The substantial vote share is just than arithmetic. Then you talk about the voting percentage which come down, it goes to Congress, when it goes high, it goes to BJP. There are a lot of other things, you'll be seeing it day by day, how it works out. But what I see is 70 lakh people who are the voters in this constituency want a change in this constituency. They want a change for country, for their constituency, for their city. And that's what is needed. And we are one of the soldiers who are working for it. Shiv Sena has been working here. It's not me. RP has been working here. It's not like that. The party is not here. We have many corporators. We've been working this constituency. Where we are right now is a stronghold of BJP. There are few strongholds of Shiv Sena. So we have a substantial strength in this constituency. It's just a change of face which is fighting. It is going to be a difficult election for every Congress candidate because locally they are not.
Priya Dutt, I want you to talk to me about the constituency you're fighting.
I'm fighting against her, and it will be difficult for her because Shiv Sena, BJP, RP have come together, will work hard, and it's going to be a tough fight and a winnable seat for BJP, 100%. Last time the arithmetic came out different, something happens, there are a lot of vote shares here and there which you've been talking about.
What about the face?
Another time. Face, of course, all the faces are different and they work hard for it.
Blockbuster battles in the upcoming polls will spice up the proceedings as India heads towards a massive political season, as the nation will decide its leader in a few weeks.